Hey everybody, it's Tripl-L coming in to talk about My Hero Academia, the spoilers for chapter 312. Hey everyone. Alright, let me tell ya, I'm impressed. Izuku was actually right. Who would have thought? Whatever though. We got the chapter. So, for the chapter, as far as I can tell, I think all the spoiler images are out. They are on Manga Helpers, so I would recommend checking Manga Helpers and checking the spoiler section in Manga Helpers if you want to see the images. I will run you through the general summary, and I will then tell you stuff that I thought was interesting from the images that I've seen. It looks pretty amazing. Of course, we can't put the images here because YouTube, oh well, if I get unlucky, Shueisha will slap down the video and it's going to be really bad. So first, the summary. The chapter opens with a flashback of Hawks and Deku having a talk. Hawks says that he doesn't need to worry so much about One for All, since Shigaraki One for All for One are still too weak to steal it. Also, since they don't have Dr. Garaki by their side anymore, they won't be able to mess with Izuku's quirk factor like the Doc used to do with the Nomus. Okay? Hawk says that most of the jailbreakers aren't on Izuku's level, but he has to keep an eye on Lady Nagant. She used to be Hawks' senpai and a supervisor for the Hero Public Safety Commission. So that's wow. First off, it's funny how quickly a lot of Tartarus, the most hardcore villains, are reduced to nothing. And it's funny how quickly the one new character we saw from Tartarus is important and dangerous, right? So funny how quickly that all happens. And for the record, this conversation with Hawks and Izuku is happening at the hospital. According to the spoiler images that I'm seeing here, he was talking to Izuku right before Izuku left. It's nighttime, so that was where he gave this last little bit of advice. Anyway, cut to the present. Izuku instantly recognizes the pink and dark blue fibers on the projectile and associates it to Lady Nagant, so good on Hawks for giving him the heads up. He tries to run using Black Whip while thinking about how he didn't warn All Might or the top 3 because she broke his phone. Okay, so that's just, that sounds like the author just giving us the idea of what's going on here. Before he's able to do anything, Lady Nagant hits him with a curve bullet. Izuku's danger sense activates, but he couldn't react fast enough, so when we were looking at this last night, that felt really good. And looking at the images for what Horikoshi is doing with that, he's again using danger sense in a really neat way with how it kind of works into the panels. But yeah, overall, that's solid. For danger sense, what you take away from here is that the issue here is that Izuku still can't react to danger sense in time, which is worthwhile. I'm seeing also in the images at multiple spots here that Izuku, he's running along a wall using Black Whip, and he also took his phone with him by grabbing it with Black Whip. I'm looking at an image here where Izuku gets hit hard by the projectile. So, one thing that's missing from the summary here is the bullet that hits Izuku. Izuku catches it. And from the image, it looks like he's trying to catch it between his hands. The bullet looks like it's spinning quite a lot. It looks like it's damaging his hand as well. But he does manage to catch it. So his reaction, like Danger Sense did give him something. Of course, in the chapter, we get good shots of Lady Nagant here. Anyway, next part of the summary says, Snipe said that the person is crazy. If it wasn't for her, he would be #1 long-distance fighter. She can shoot up to 30 kilometers. Her quirk enables her to use and shape her bicolored hair like an epoxy putty into any kind of bullet. They revealed that her quirk is called Rifle. Now, there was a little bit more information on that from an earlier round of spoilers. So this is also from the same spoiler source, Sushi. And so the Snipe situation, just so you know, it was a flashback of Snipe on a TV show. He says that he's the #2 shooter in Japan, losing only to Lady Nagant. His quirk allows him to freely control bullets in a range of 600 meters. For hers is called Rifle, and the range is 3 kilometers. So the fact that he's talking about the range is telling me that he's specifically talking about the fact that this girl can control bullets while they're been fired, right? Which would make sense with the whole thing about the bullets curving. Anyway, we go back to the main summary. Izuku was trying to escape her 3-kilometer radius, and she stated that it's the first time that she had to fire the second bullet against someone. That's just, you know, that's pretty basic way of hyping up characters. Like, oh my god, you're the first person to survive this, or oh my god, you're the first person to take a second hit, right? So whatever, that's just basic hype technique. Overhaul seemed broken and kept on saying father, boss. So this is consistent with what we saw from him when the breakout was happening. So looking at the pages themselves, he actually does look legit broken. And from the spoiler images, it looks like Lady Nagant was helping him on the night of the big breakout, and which I thought was actually really cute before everything goes weird. Anyway, Lady Nagant told him to hide because the target will come. She thought to herself maybe she should have left Overhaul. I would have thought that too. Like, the man is quite literally dead weight. And she says she only brought Overhaul because he was also a fellow victim of Hero Society. And I'm just thinking, like, when I read that line, I'm just thinking, man, these villains have such a fetish with being victims of society. And I'm thinking, like, Overhaul is a member of a group that existed before Hero Society, a criminal group, arguably, that got taken down a peg because people got good at enforcing justice. These people had to pretty much become a monitored group, and Overhaul took it upon himself to not only screw over the man that gave him a roof over his head, but also experimented on that man's granddaughter. And she's calling him a victim of Hero Society, when the person who victimized him the most was Shigaraki, the protege of the person that she's working with. I'm just thinking, like, bruh, man, the kinks are unreal. They're just totally warping your perception of reality here. Overhaul's a criminal. Even without Hero Society, he's a bad person. He's not a victim. He's a victim of Shigaraki. Oh my gosh, man. But whatever. Like, this isn't anything new. This is pretty much. This sounds like just My Hero Academia villains going. It just sounds like it's the same old tire shtick of someone being really just annoyed by society and then saying insane things. I like her already. I like her already. This kind of insanity is like right up my alley. Now, you know, when we were looking at the first round of spoilers from last night, we on the live stream we had a little bit of a joke that this woman was just keeping Overhaul around as a boy toy. And honestly, you know, looking at it now, like looking at the images and, you know, just being very professional here, you know, yeah, I think the fact of the matter is she's lugging around dead weight. You know, the end of the chapter reveals she has airwalk, and it's like, yeah. Can you imagine? She's carrying Overhaul everywhere, and she's even telling him to like move away from places and all that. And it's like, you know, why didn't you tell him to get out of the rain? That would have been really appreciated. He's gonna get pneumonia. But you know, whatever. Anyway, back to this. She flashbacks to when she met All For One after the jailbreak. She expressed her nostalgia of ever having to investigate All For One. He told her that he wants her to bring a student that would probably leave UA and move independently. Lady Nagant refused at first because the other jailbreakers only need to go rampage in order to be released. So why did she have to do an extra difficult job? I love that rhetoric, because when we first saw Lady Nagant, I made the observation that she did this, which was usually a body language tell of someone that doesn't like to work too much, or something along those lines. And I'm glad to actually see her complaining about having to do extra work. But for those scenes, yeah, All For One came up to her while she was helping Overhaul. That's what the images are saying, so it's actually pretty interesting. Anyway, All For One explained that as long as the kid is still around, the society that Lady Nagant dreamt of will never come true. Which I'm really wondering what society is this woman dreaming of. Must be, like, if you're willing to shoot a 16-year-old kid, it can't be that great of a society. All For One then offered her a contract by giving her a quirk, which is airwalk. In the last page, she said that she will execute this order. So who knows what kind of society she's going for, but already she's crazy, so really shouldn't be trusting her. Any other little details that we can pull out from the general spoilers? Actually, yeah. Right around when the flashback happens, we have the information that Overhaul is just repeating boss and boss. And then All For One says during the meeting that he's honored to meet Lady Nagant, the traitor of the heroes. When I hear that line, traitor and heroes, I'm just thinking Stain, the ultimate corrector of fake heroes. He says to Arana, considering she used to investigate him. Yeah, okay, we got that part. Now, another thing here about All For One. And this is really interesting. We'll have to wait for the real chapter to see if there's more details. All For One asked about Overhaul, and she says that they haven't met before, but she's planning to use him now that he's mind broken. And this is the line that really made it feel like, okay, this guy's a boy toy. Like, what do you mean you're planning to use him? I mean, technically, she's been in solitary confinement for a very long time, and this is the first guy that she saw. This guy's also pretty weak, pretty fragile. I mean, the fanfic writes itself. But anyway, Though that is the general stuff from the summary. Overall, I think this is a really good introduction for the character. Also, Izuku's mid gauntlets are already destroyed. So during the live stream I was saying this is probably gonna be this woman's body Izuku chapter. I think we might have another another half chapter of Izuku in trouble here, because this girl came in with complete supremacy in the situation. But actually seeing her interact with Overhaul, it actually looks really cute. Now one of the weird things is her quirk is called Rifle, but her quirk also has like this biologic component to her hair. And from the images, I was thrown off because she has aura around her hand, but throughout the images, that aura is still there. Like when she was getting Overhaul out of Tartarus and All For One showed up in front of her, the aura on her hand was still going. So it's like, why are you holding him with an aura? It's kind of weird. And even when she's grabbing Overhaul in real time, she's also using that aura. So it's interesting. I don't understand the full purpose of having the aura out, and I wonder if there's something else going on there. Of course, she also gets Airwalk, which is one of All For One's quirks, and it's like she's the kind of person that's able to handle two quirks without going crazy, which is another big important piece of information. Another thing to consider here as well is we do get to see what she looked like as a hero, and let me tell you, as a hero, she looked like she was really happy. Given that she was working in the Public Safety Commission, and given that this woman was Hawks' senpai, it does seem like this girl probably saw too much. Like, knowing what the Safety Commission made Hawks do, imagine what they made a woman with a gun in her elbow do, right? Yeah, I think this girl's seen a lot. But overall, for spoilers, so exciting. This is so exciting. I can't wait to talk about it with the live stream crew. Anyway, everyone, thank you so much for watching. We're going to leave it there for the My Hero Academia spoilers. I think there are a few points that I do want clarified from the official chapters, but this isn't a chapter that really requires too much clarification, which will be good. Anyway, let me know what you thought down below. Let me know if I missed anything, and until next time, I hope you have an absolutely great day.